Welcome to this free immigration help channel. Today is March 6, 2023, and we are getting into volume 26 of me answering your immigration related questions in the comments. Before we begin, as always, I'm going to say I'm not an immigration attorney. This is not a legal advice. All the information that I provide in my videos on this channel are directly from official sources, USCIS.gov, state.gov, and so forth, only official government sources. Alright, without further ado, let's begin with the very first comment question from Enzama Dennis. And I'm very sorry, by the way, if I'm mispronouncing your names. Hello, thanks for the wonderful work. Thank you, Enzama, for watching. I really appreciate it. May I know from you how to apply for H5A Visa? Because it's not in DS 160 form. Thanks. Okay, Enzama. Thank you for bringing this up. So this H5A visa, it comes up. I've seen it already several times, and looks like it was a thing back in, I think, like 2015, when the Senate introduced in one of the bills. It might have been as part of the immigration reform. I'm not 100% sure. But anyway, they introduced that whole new work visa, temporary work visa category, H5. But I don't think that actually ever passed because there was absolutely no talk about it, and you cannot find it. That's why you don't see it on DS 160. That's why you cannot even find it on USCIS. And actually, I'm gonna use this as an opportunity to demonstrate a little bit of a navigation of the official U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services website. That's where I get most of the information. I say most because the rest I take from the Department of State. So here I think there was working in US. That's it, working in US. If you go to this link, that link again is on the main page, and it says right here, working in US, this tab right here. If you click on temporary workers, you will see all the temporary workers visa categories that are available, and you can see there's H1B, which is one of the most popular ones whenever it comes to the temporary worker. There's H2A, agricultural, H2B, non-agricultural, H3, non-immigrant trainee, and that's it. There is no H5A, so I don't think that bill actually passed. I'm sorry if not probably the answer that you might have expected. But that's why I say all the time, whenever it comes to actually getting your information, always get information from the official sources. And even with this video you're watching, the videos that are on this channel, always go to the official sources to verify that information. Because sometimes, even in my videos, even if I give you stuff from USCIS, over the course of, a few months, 6 months, a year, things might change. And it constantly, I try to make updated videos, but still, things change. And especially with online forums that try to bring in as more people as possible to either read their articles, watch their videos, whatever, they kind of do that selling points like, oh, brand new visa, even though it's not approved yet, if it's not actually passed yet in the law, but just introduced. Just because it's introduced is now for them an option to say, hey, brand new visa, and everybody's excited and reading their article or watching their video. Okay, let's move on to the next question from Iyusha Hangna. Probably definitely pronounced it wrong. I'm sorry, but let me read your comment. I'm from Ethiopia, and my father is a U.S. citizen, and I am over 21 years old. How long does it take, the processing time? Okay, so you're in F1 category, which is the first priority category, which you would think would be processed the fastest. Unfortunately, it's not the case. So I do have an opportunity right now to demonstrate some navigation on Visa Bulletin. And if you do have the family immigration case in process, or you're planning to start a family petition for someone to immigrate to the United States of America, this is what you're going to be using a lot. I have actually done a separate video. I'm not sure if I have it here somewhere. Here it is, Understanding Visa Bulletin. Why is there an immigrant visa backlog? If you have an opportunity, check it out. That's where I explain all the dates, both of these graphs. But basically for you, I'm not sure if you filed, if your father already petitioned for you or not. But in the first priority F1 category, unmarried sons and daughters of US citizens who are over 21. I don't know why they didn't put it here. It makes it a little bit confusing, but over 21. And dates for filing, so let's say if you file today, there is currently a backlog of 7 years. So whoever received the notice of receipt from USCIS back in August 2016, that's the people that are getting that visa eligibility this year, meaning that the backlog is finally cleared for these dates, which is crazy. It's 7 years of backlog. 7 years, I'm trying to calculate, make sure. So 16 plus, yes, 7 years, and it's really long time for children of U.S. citizen to wait for 7 years. It's ridiculous, but that's the way it is. Unfortunately, this category visas are capped. That's why there is a backlog. But yeah, you're looking about 7 years plus, of course, USCIS processing, which can also take about a year. So yeah, it's a long time. So it's better to start as soon as possible whenever it comes to cases like this. Let's move on to the next one from Nick N. Hello, I'm permanent resident here at US. I need to file my spouse from my country. How many months the process? Thanks. Okay, so the good news is that whenever it comes to the immigrant visas for the spouses of permanent residents, there is no cap on those visas, so they are all current. So basically, once your case is approved by USCIS and transferred to the NVC for the further processing, as soon as you do all the documents, as soon as NVC reviews everything and documentarily qualifies you, not you, but your beneficiary, your wife in this case, that's it. Within like a month or two, the visa is available. She's invited for an interview to her local US embassy, and that's it. Not so good news is that you actually have to wait for all of this stuff, processing in USCIS. Might take about a year and a half, and then it is transferred to the NVC, which also might take about a month. And then when you submit everything to NVC, they process it for about a month, and then they schedule the interview. So it might take some time. Again, with that being said, it's whenever it comes to family immigration petitions, don't wait. Just start it now. Because it does take time. It does take time, and from what I see from the comments in general, from the questions in general that I get, I see that a lot of people did not expect it to take that long. Which of course it's definitely sad. That is why I'm saying the sooner you start, the better. All right, let's move on to the next one from Adventures, Nature Lovers, Creative Talented. Hi sir, I'm citizen and applied for my biological parent and my brother, who is 15 years old. And Form I-130 processing time on case status says 8 months for my father and brother. And for my mother it says 4 months. I want them as family petition. Why these are different processing times? Really good question. I'm not sure why it is showing a different processing time. Let me open up USCIS and we're gonna take a look at some processing times at the USCIS site. So if you want to check the processing times of the case, you would go to the tools at the very top of the navigation, case status online here. And then if you scroll down on this page where you can check the status of your case by entering the receipt number, there is a USCIS processing times information. Now, I'm going to select the I-130 here, petition for alien relative. So you are a US citizen, apply for biological parents and a brother. Okay, so let's say US citizen. So this would be for parent, right? And then you have brother, sister here. So we're going to check for parent. I don't know which service center you sent, but I'll take the Texas just for example purposes. So this is about 11 and a half months, so just under a year. And then if we select the brother, typically these take a bit longer. Let's take a look. 32 months. So this one is close to 3 years. So I'm not sure where you're getting your processing times from, because usually for sisters, brothers, for siblings in general, it takes much longer to process on USCIS side, and as you can see in this case, 3 times longer than parents, because parents are in that immediate category, immediate relative category. And then, obviously, whenever the case is approved by USCIS and then is transferred to the NVC, then on the NVC side, I mean, there's a long, long wait right now for brothers and sisters, for the siblings in general, because this is the last priority category, the F4, brothers and sisters of adult U.S. citizens. And the document, if you file it, since the date of the receipt by USCIS, they're processing now the cases from December 2007, which is the delay of 16 years. 16 years. So 3 years on the USCIS side, plus about 16 years. That's total of 20 years. It's ridiculous wait times. I really hope that they speed up, because it's, I mean, for anyone, nobody should be waiting this long, especially when you're filing everything, you're doing everything properly, and you're paying the fees, and you still have to wait. This is ridiculous. So hopefully I was able to help you with my answer. Again, I'm not sure where you're getting your processing times, because 8 months for father and brother, and then for my mother it says 4 months. It just doesn't seem very realistic, those processing times. But let me know, please, if you can follow up with your comment. That would be great. I will address it in the next video. All right, let's move further to Carlos. Thank you so much for the time that you gave. Of course, Carlos, you're very welcome. Thank you for watching. Next question is from Samirovic. I'm U.S. citizen and I applying for my spouse I-130 and receive request evidence for my certificate foreign language. And I do big mistake in my life because of someone give me wrong information. Sorry about that, Samirovic. And I upload certificate birthday, foreign language, and translation, and my case denied. I'm not sure what you did wrong. And problem, I have the certificate, so my question, I have to file appeal EOR 27 or EOR 29 and add the certificate foreign language or not. Okay, Samir, so I'm trying to understand. If I'm understanding correctly, you have submitted, once they requested your birth certificate, you have submitted the birth certificate in the foreign language and the translation, right? I'm not sure what's wrong with that. Or maybe you submitted the birth certificate in the foreign language without the translation. If that's the case, maybe I could understand, but it doesn't really warrant the denial of the case. Because if usually, I'm not saying it's all the time, but usually whenever there is something missing, whether it's on NVC side or on USCIS side, usually they just say, hey, they send you the letter, say additional evidence is required. We received your birth certificate, but it is in a foreign language, and we need a certified translation for it. Usually that's how it is. And then you provide, obviously it wastes a lot of time because you have to mail it, they have to mail the response and all of that sort of stuff, which is still not good, but it's not a denial. So I just don't see them denying for this one reason, especially considering that you're petitioning for your spouse. So what I would recommend to do is, on that denial notice that you received from, I'm assuming from USCIS, you got that denial. Read the reason for the denial, because in the reason for the denial, not only they usually explain why they denied it. Maybe in your case they just said, hey, we haven't received the evidence that we have requested, which I'm not sure. Again, it just doesn't seem like it doesn't really make sense to me for them to deny something as simple reason as just someone not providing a translation or a birth certificate. They'll just say, hey, we need still birth certificate for further processing, not the denial. But anyway, read the denial, because over there at the very bottom it usually says the options. For example, a lot of times when the case is denied because there is not enough evidence or something like that, they say in the denial that you can request for the case to be reopened and reconsidered if you provide additional evidence that was requested initially. All right, so make sure to read that denial notice very carefully. And also I would recommend in this case reaching out to an immigration attorney. Find an immigration attorney that you can have a free consultation with. there are immigration attorneys that are good, that started their careers as attorneys because they want to help people. So these kind of attorneys, they usually, most of the times, they offer free consultation. And when you actually consult with them, they open all the cards right there on the table. They explain everything without holding any information back. Like, oh yeah, no, you know what? You have to hire me first in order for me to tell you that. Because again, with a denial is a delicate situation. You don't want that to just kind of let it go. Especially whenever it comes to appeals, if you have to do the appeal. But again, read that notice of denial because that should have more information. All right, let's move on to the next one from Barakat Tiramo. Okay, Barakat, yes, I remember your question. So your answer here is thank you so much for answering my question. You're very welcome. And as you said, I already updated my naturalization certificate on my USCIS portal. Perfect, that's great. But I just confused because my current case status is processed as green card holder or US citizen. Okay, so as long as you have already submitted the certificate, that's good. Unfortunately, it does take a lot of time for both USCIS and NVC. If your case is already transferred to NVC and you have to update it with the NVC, it takes quite a while for them to update the actual status whenever it comes to being within the petition. So most likely what's going to happen is either the time will just get to completion of the as a green card holder and not as a US citizen, and then processing it as that and then transferring it to the NVC with the updated status, which is great because at least it will be faster, a little bit faster, not by a lot because it's really the same thing. But usually it does take them anywhere from 1 month, and it might take up to a few months if there is a delay, if that particular service center is busy. But you're already on top of it, so you know exactly what you're doing, and that's great. That's really all we want to see. All right, let's move on to the next one from Imran Khan. Hello there. My father filed my I-130 case over 21 years. Okay, Imran, I'm worried about clicking on read more because you said I have NVC case number. I don't want to expose that. With that being said, if you are asking a question, don't share any personal information because it's personal information. You don't want anyone access to your case, no matter who, no matter what. Be very, very careful. So I'm gonna click on that, and if there is a case number, I will blur it out in the recording software that I'm using. Okay, there is no case number. Good, but it's a good example. Don't put your personal information in the questions. Provide the information, provide the dates, but don't put any personal information. Okay. So let me read the comment. Hello there. My father filed my I-130 case over 21 year unmarried in August 2021, and I was approved from USCIS. Oh, congratulations. That's good news. On September 2022 and received a letter notice of immigrant visa case creation. Great. That's it. That's the welcome letter from NVC. I have NVC case number and invoice ID number. When I log into CAC, shows nothing except my case detail in the page. Summary information due to the numerical limitation on immigration visas. Okay, I already know that. I'm gonna read it for everyone so that you know how it looks. Because this is a good one. This is a really good one. Due to the numerical limitations on immigrant visas issuance prescribed by law, this petition is not eligible for further processing at this time. The National Visa Center NVC will retain the petition until an immigrant visa becomes available. The NVC will notify the petitioner, principal applicant, or attorney of record when this petition is eligible for further processing. The principal applicant should not make any firm plans such as disposing of property, giving up jobs, or making travel arrangements at this time. And then the question from Imran, what should I do? Should I have to wait or contact USCIS or NVC? Please help me what to do. Okay, Imran, great question, and actually thank you for sharing all of this. This is really, really good for people who are watching, and I actually was talking about it in my previous video, I'm pretty sure in the volume 25, where I said that sometimes NVC, they send you the welcome letter and give you the access to the portal before the visa is available, way before the visa is available. And sometimes they actually wait until like few months until the availability of the visa, and then they give you the access to the portal. That's why you see such a huge difference between the when the case was actually filed with USCIS and when the case was documentarily qualified. Because if you think, there should be just about a year or year and a half difference, like it is shown in the visa bulletin right here in the two graphs. And again, if you haven't seen the video that I've done understanding this visa bulletin, check it out. It definitely will be helpful, and I will keep making updated videos every month as the new visa bulletin is coming out, because new visa bulletin is coming out every month. This is March 2023, and very soon we're gonna have April 2023, so I'll make a separate video on that one. So back to Imran's question. Over 21 year unmarried. So I am assuming that his father is a citizen. My father filed my authorized case over 21 year unmarried in August 2021. So that means that Imran here is in F1 category, which is the first priority unmarried sons and daughters of US citizens over 21. Now in this case, F1, they are still, as you can see, the receipt from August 2016. So it was initially filed in August 2021. So 2021 and 2016, that is about 5 years. About 5 years of backlog, about 5 years of delay. So if it was filed in 2021, 5 years of delay right now, as of right now, so it means we're looking at quite some time there for still waiting. So Imran, you really don't need to do anything at this point. There's no point to contact USCIS, especially USCIS. There's no point to contact NVC either. All you really need to do is just be patient, stay on top of the visa bulletin, make sure you always pay attention to these dates, because these do change, not always, but sometimes they do update, either speed up or slow down. And then closer to the availability, when you're like, a year maybe behind the visa availability, keep logging into the NVC portal, and once it is closer to the visa availability, it will open up for you where you can actually submit all the stuff. Well, not you, but your father he will have to fill out a few applications, provide some documentation, pay a few fees, and then basically get documentarily qualified for you, so you can go to the interview in the embassy. So I hope my answer was helpful. I'm gonna post this. If you have any additional questions though, definitely follow up. All right, moving further to a few comments from Desrin Trovers. I've been watching this. It's never gonna move from 2014. I'm so frustrated. So is my daughter, and they will not give her a visa. She's the only one left back home. I'm very sorry, Desiree. This is really sad. And yeah, again, this is the video that I'm talking about, understanding visa bulletin. If you guys haven't seen it, check it out. Basically over there, I am showing some crazy times, like you see Desiree experiencing. And a lot of people do not know that. A lot of people do not realize that there is such a crazy backlog on immigrant visas. And you would think that, well, I'm a US citizen. I'm a legal permanent resident. I went through the process, I did the background checks, I did the application, I paid the fees, I did all of this. And now I'm inviting my immediate relatives. It's not somebody random, some uncle's brother I'm inviting. I am inviting my daughter, or my son, or my parents, or my brother, sister. And then they go through all of the documents, and we are doing everything correctly. We're submitting everything. We're paying all the fees. And we're waiting such ridiculous times, and a lot of people are waiting. So this is an issue, and I think a lot more people need to know about this issue. And if it was brought up, because Congress is mainly in charge whenever it comes to issuing the amount of visas, the numbers. These numbers that you see here, they come from Congress. This is the availability basically for the visas each year. And obviously each year there's more visas that are, more applications than there are visas. That's why the backlog is being created. And most of the times people that are actually in Congress, they are not very familiar with the immigration law as we are familiar with immigration law, because we are immigrants. We went through it. We know exactly how it looks. When it comes to politicians, they don't really study, they don't really deal with any of this unless they're immigrants themselves. But most of the times for them, it's just it's games, unfortunately, with people's lives. I petitioned for my daughter 2015. When is her priority date? Okay, so if you petitioned for your daughter in 2015, and I'm assuming your daughter in F1 category, that's why you're waiting for so long. Because you're a US citizen and your daughter is over 21. Because if she was under 21, unmarried, then obviously she would have been in not even on the visa bulletin at all. Those visas are available immediately. There is no wait on those. But over 21, you filed 2015. Right now is December 2014. So as of right now, one more year looks like. So hopefully I really hope that within 1 year, the visa becomes available. One thing that I'm going to ask you, let me read your third comment. So I've from my daughter 7 years ago to 2015. When is our priority? And I'm an American citizen. Okay, yeah, you're saying that here. You're an American citizen. So with one thing I'm going to ask, did you get the access to the NVC yet? To the NVC portal? Did you get the welcome center like here in this example that Imran mentioned here? If you have access to the NVC portal yet, check it out. If you have the same message, just keep on checking it, making sure. If you did not get the access to the NVC portal yet, I would actually recommend submitting an inquiry on your case, whether it's with USCIS or if it's been transferred to NVC, with NVC, and saying, hey guys, where's my welcome letter? Because it's pretty close now, and I'm thinking right around this time, you should be getting that access to the portal so that you can get actually documentarily qualified. You can get your daughter documentarily qualified by submitting everything that is necessary for the National Visa Center to process that immigrant visa. So I'm going to post this right here so that you know I've addressed your comments, and if you can follow up with an answer, that will be very helpful. I might provide more information if I can in my next video like this. All right, let's move on to the next one. Maria Cruz Sigolen, Espanol, please. Actually, that's very good, Maria. Thank you for bringing this up. That brings a very important point, because I was actually thinking about this myself the other day. It would be really helpful. It would be really good if I could at least implement on this channel Spanish subtitles. And as of right now, as of this, the way this channel is, the way I'm doing this work, I cannot afford to have a translator translate the, everything that I do in Spanish. There is a program with YouTube where actually anyone can contribute the subtitles, whatever it is. If by any chance anyone has availability, time to spare, somebody wants to help fellow immigrants, people in general, if you can translate a subtitle, that would be really, really nice. I'm not entirely sure how it's done, but I know that there is a program with YouTube where you can actually, on any video that you want, you can contribute subtitle in a different language. And it would be really, really nice if somebody could do that. Hopefully, eventually, I will be able to bring somebody, maybe bilingual, or maybe someone who is, well, I am bilingual myself, just not in Spanish, but bring someone who can translate the videos that I'm making, with at least maybe the captions, so that people can read. But it's a really, really good point, Maurice. Thank you. Hopefully it will be coming soon. All right, let's move on to the next one from Althea Bright. And actually today, let's see, we will try to cover this. Maybe more. We'll see. Probably this. Yeah. Probably this. Okay, let's do it. So we don't have a lot of time. Althea Bright. Hi, my friend got through with her approval papers I-979. What is her next? Okay, I'm not familiar with I-979. Maybe you mean I-797, which is the notice of action. If it was approved already by USCIS, I'm thinking if you're asking this on this video here, you probably are talking about the petition I-130. I'm not sure though. Let me know if you can follow up. But if it has been approved by USCIS, the next step, the case will be transferred to the NVC. So just look out for the welcome letter from NVC, because it will contain, like you've seen an example below with Imran, I think, it will have the information that will give you access to the portal. And that's where all the rest of the work needs to be done. So I'm going to pause this and I'm going to move on to the next one from Milan. Can you please tell me how long it's covered? F2A to CR1. Okay, so F2A, so CR1 is spouse of a US citizen, and F2A, that's for permanent resident. So again, Milan, great question. But whenever it comes to the it wouldn't really necessarily conversion, more like a change of status, change of the filing status. It really depends on whether your case is still with USCIS or with the NVC. USCIS, I've noticed they take a little bit longer to do that, but on the plus side, if you do get it to change with USCIS, you get already the corrected, updated basically filing status with the NVC, which is obviously a huge plus. It saves a lot of time. So let me know if it was already, if it's still with USCIS or the NVC, if the conversion itself has already been requested. So if there was an email sent or maybe mail, let me know. That would be a little bit more information for me to kind of expand on. All right, let's move on to Serbus. Hi, I currently have a pending naturalization status and I found out that my green card expired a month ago. What do you think I should do? Please help. Okay, Serbus, excellent question. So whenever it comes to the green card, typically the common notion of the green card is that once it expires, you still have your permanent resident status. Basically, the card itself is just showing that, in case if you do need to travel, in case if you do, just something that proves your permanent resident status, basically. So, with that being said, my recommendation is, again, it's not legal advice, nothing, just a recommendation, is that if you are very close to the end of the naturalization process, if your interview maybe already been scheduled, it's, a month left, just wait for it. And, if you get asked, be prepared that you will be asked during the interview, hey, why did you let your green card expire? Just in case. Maybe nobody will ask you that, but just in case, be prepared. However, if you still do have 6 months, a year to the, to the interview, to whatever, to the completion of your naturalization application, then I would recommend filing a renewal application for the green card, just to be safe. I know it's money. There is actually a video that I've done where you can request a fee waiver for applications with USCIS, so you can try doing that. But just in case, I would rather recommend something that is, it might not be very convenient, it might be out-of-pocket expenses, but it's on the safe side. Avoiding unnecessary questions. Again, if you're too close to the interview, to the completion of the application, no point of doing that, because green card applications right now, renewal applications, they take very long time. They take about a year to process. So base your calculations on that. All right, let's move on to the next question from Emizium Kingsley. Thank you, sir, for good work. Thank you for watching. I want to also ask a question about my two brothers. They have same date of PD under F1 category. Okay, F1. The first one is PD, okay, December 2014. The second person is PD 5th December 2014. Then they're documentarily qualified. It's April 2022. When are going to receive their IL? Okay, so again, here you can see there's a huge difference between the documentarily qualified and the initial filing date, but in this case we're gonna go by the initial filing date, because we see that NVC they allowed access to the portal just recently in April 2022. So it should be very, very close, because about within a year they give you the access. So if you have been already qualified in April 2022, I would say anytime now the visa should be available. And actually, let's take a look at the visa bulletin. December 2014. Yep. So as you can see, the people who filed Oh, okay, no. So it's 2016, and you filed in 2014. So yeah, you are definitely already very, very close. Any moment now, it really should be going through, and the the who is his brothers, about my two brothers, yeah, and hopefully your two brothers will be getting their immigrant visa availability and being further processed by NVC. All right, let's move on to the next one. We will cover a couple more up to right here, and then I'll let everyone go, and we will continue in the next video because this is already 35 minutes long. All right, Adejumo Hadijat. Hello, my brother filed for I-130 since 22 September 2011. Still nothing has been approved. Yeah, so brothers, unfortunately, it takes a long time. As you can see, F4 category filing date is December 2007. So it is about 4 years delay. So 4 more years. 4 more years from now, and it's very rough estimate because it can speed up, hopefully. But it also can slow down, because if there's more applications than there's available visas, the backlog will keep accumulating and will be transferring to the next year. That's why we have such crazy wait times, unfortunately. But look on yours, as of today, as of the March bulletin, looks like there is, about 4 years still to go. All right, moving further to Emizium. Kingsley, again, thank you so much, sir. Okay, so that's again for you. Okay, perfect. You gave me to answer, but want to go back to my question properly. Okay, perfect. F1 category. So I see. So May 2015, and then the documentary. Okay, got it. Yeah, that definitely makes sense now. All right, so let's move on to the very last comment here for today from Muhammad Jama. Hello there. I like your videos. Thank you for watching. How can I file N600 for my children? All right, excellent question. Let me demonstrate that here at the USCIS website. So we're gonna go to the very front page, USCIS.gov, official government website for U.S. citizenship and immigration services. Sorry, I've been talking for 37 minutes straight. We're gonna go to forms, and then all forms, and then we'll give you all of the immigration forms that are available. You can just scroll down to it, or you can type it in, 600. There we go. Petition to, no, this is the I-600. That's not naturalization. Application for certificate of citizenship. There you go, N600. So this is the form. As you can see, it is available to file online right now. You can use the paper application. Here you will find in this tab right here. There's a application itself, paper application. There's instructions for it. Edition date. Make sure to verify that. There's where to file, and there's a filing fee. So, with that being said, I definitely do recommend filing this form online. Why? Because it saves a lot of time and it prevents a lot of unnecessary mistake. You do have an option to file a paper application, but if you can file it online, do that. It will make it much smoother, much easier process. So thank you everyone for tuning in. As always, appreciate your time, appreciate you watching, and all your support through the super thanks on this channel. That is a feature YouTube. Thank you for supporting the channel. Memberships of this channel definitely help this channel grow as well. I will be making another video, hopefully sometime either today or tomorrow. We will see with the time, but for now, thanks for tuning in. God bless, and I'll see you in the next video.